Welcome back, YouTube audience. It is I, Ambassador Al, the ambassador of Marvel Strike Force and the envoy of winning. We win so much, even when we lose, we still win. Back at it today with a revisit, the Dark Dimension 6 character analysis spreadsheet. It's a Google sheet. It's available. It'll be linked down below. Check it out. You can save a copy, make your own, do your thing. What's the point here? The point is, what should you bring to Dark Dimension 6? And has it changed since my last video? It has, because there's been new characters and different things, and the meta shifts and stuff changes, and it'll be different again in the future. So keep that in mind. It's not set in stone. In a few weeks, a few months, we may get a legendary, and that may change things up anyway. But for now, I think I found what's a perfectly balanced 20 character solution. Now, again, before I get into it, remember, context matters. Your roster and your inventory and what you have access to may be different than mine. Of course, I built this list though thinking, what's the most balanced between a good mix of bio and tech and skill and mutant, and I balanced it based on the gear, and I got 5 members for each global, city, cosmic, legendary, and no horsemen. No horsemen were injured in the making of this film. You don't need to bring horsemen if you can, of course, but you don't have to. Excuse me. That's a more efficient use of gear if you can get there. Another important thing we've learned in the last few months of Dark Dimension 6 stuff is that, hey, performance in the game mode itself, Dark Dimension 6, is not the most important factor in choosing who to bring to Dark Dimension 6. That's right. You don't bring characters that stink, that are just terrible, of course, because it'll take forever, you'll never get through. But it turns out there's not that much more importance on having, like, the best team in the node versus, like, hey, when this whole thing is done, what characters do I want on my roster that I'm like, oh, thank God I already built so-and-so to gear tier 18 versus like, why did I build so-and-so? Oh, just to get Skrull a week faster? Will that matter in a month from now, 2 months from now, 4 months from now that you got Skrull 1 week faster? It probably won't. But what you have on your roster will matter to you. And so what we try to do here was, hey, what about, let's put a little more emphasis on what will be in the meta 3 months from now. So before you get in, make sure you like and subscribe for more content, and comment down below, what did you bring? What did you not bring? What worked? What didn't work? What are your, what do you focus on? It's like, well, I'm still trying to get Apocalypse first. So I'm trying to build characters that will help me for DD5 and DD6 and Apocalypse. Yeah, of course. So again, your roster matters and where you are in the game, considering your own context. Again, this may change. It's always shift. So again, use the link down below, grab the Google Sheet, save a copy, and play with it. Do your own things. But here's my parameters. Meta, this is where I expect the character to be in 3 months. Like how far in the meta, in terms of just the overall game universe, are they important? Are they not important? Do I use them in other places? Are they great for raids or war or crucible or arena? We know that's most important for almost everybody because it's source of cores and pride, bragging rights. So that stuff matters, it turns out. So I updated my list and I put more importance on how meta they are. Now here's my terms. Top, they're the top in the meta. They're either the best in arena, best in war, best in crucible, best for all kinds of places, and you use them everywhere. Apocalypse is a great character. Use them everywhere. Top meta. The Secret Defenders team that use them for arena stuff. They're top meta. I put solid / top, then solid / fringe. Fringe is like, they're in the meta, you use them, but you're not like super excited about them. They're already built, so you're using them, but you're not like, I'm gonna suddenly build them. And then there's not in the meta, like, they're just not in the meta. They're just, you don't use them in raids or war or crucible. If you do, it's super occasional. It's a fringe, it's a niche kind of thing here and there, but you're not gonna be like, oh, well, thank God I've got my Gear 18 Invisible Woman for all the times I use Fantastic Four, and you don't. So that's what I mean. And I say basically I did 4 points scale down to 0 for fringe and -2 for they're not in the meta. So it's kind of six grades, and that matters more to me than the performance and the cost of it. So I put down also notes where I think they're being currently used in the meta. Also, a little quick note, of course, I gave Apocalypse 2 more points for performance there. That was kind of to sway, add more meta to it, but whatever. He'll be top of ratings no matter what. Horseman, I got -1 because they're only useful on 2 nodes instead of being on 3 like Cosmic and City or all 4 legendary nodes, they get a little deduction for not being useful on more than just the 2 nodes. And also an orange, yeah, blue is ones that I already built. Purple are ones that got released after I got Super Scroll, so I haven't really tested them, or simply like, hey, I didn't build them. Orange is their current recommendation, whether I built them or not. So I sort of list this. This is the top 20. I did performance. How good were they in the nodes? What was the cost in sets of Gear 18 minis? 2 sets of mutant, 2 sets of skill, whatever. Performance minus cost, and then I added in their meta score to get an overall rating. So based on rating and current game modes, just looking at game modes there, current rating, how'd they do? This is my top 20, and we'll go through them real quick. Take a look. You can screenshot. You got the whole spreadsheet. I'll show you, but basically this is 20. We'll get you through the entire list, the entire thing. We'll get you Super Scroll, and you won't be like, oh man, there won't be any characters on this list I think that you'll regret. Put it that way. And in fact, I think they're all going to help you in other parts of the game. You'll be like, oh cool, oh cool, oh cool, oh cool. Yeah, okay, cool. It's all going to work out. And here's the list: Apocalypse Fall, Black Cat, Photon, Nova, Kang, Spider-Man Big Time, Ghost Rider Robbie, Quicksilver, Firestar, Captain Carter, sort of a hard light, Captain America, Rescue. We'll talk about it. Spider-Man 29, Sylvie, Kestrel, Fury, Omega Red, and Shuri. If you almost hit the list, then quite. Red Hulk, Super Skrull. Well, I have him now. It's on the list, but if you have him, bring him to second run. Duh. Red Hulk, Cloak, Nemesis, Spider Weaver, Dagger, Black Widow, Starlight Annihilation. I built him and I kind of. Photon didn't exist yet. All right. Magneto, I built for Crucible. Ravager Stitcher, that's a very niche play. I like Ravager Stitcher. Super cheap. Helps you cut a lot of corners in your planning, but if you don't have him already up at 85 and 90, don't waste your time there. It's a very niche play if you're an old veteran player and you already built him for DD5, you already built him for other stuff, and it's like, it can be handy. It's not part of my recommended list. Oh, I do love him. And Phoenix I built because I didn't have my list. If I had this list, I would have followed better advice. But let's get into it. So the idea here, I did analysis, and based on Mystic Gear, this way, Mystic Gear we don't use a ton of. This set, I know Sylvie is right now super important for the raid team, although she doesn't have to be super big for them to work. So right now, super important for Crucible. Again, this could change. If Crucible rules change, and we don't know what they're going to change to, when they're going to change. If they change, and having a big, beefy gear team Sylvie for super resistance is no longer a big deal, we'll update the list. But for now, it works out perfectly. You're going to have 13 Mystic pieces total, and you got 4 great characters. Vol, clearly a great character. Ghost Rider Robbie, killing it in Arena, killing it in doing war stuff, and he's really great in Dark Dimension 6 City nodes. Quicksilver, again, great everywhere you get to use him, especially if you get him up to like 7 red stars. And Sylvie, again, super critical now for Crucible, great in raids, and surprisingly useful other places too. You'll see. So that's my Mystic. I think works out. It's basically all the pieces all the time. So like Bio, 13 pieces of gear. I got some cheap bios on here. There's some 2s and 3s. Notice not a lot of 4s and 5s unless they're just amazing, because you want to get through it and have characters that are worth building. The ones that cost 4 and 5 that aren't worth it, I'll save your time. Don't do it, okay? But Photon, Nova, Captain Carter, Captain America for Rebirth, yeah. Spider 29 still working great in Tangled Web for Crucible and war stuff. They're great characters. I can understand if you want to bring like, other bio characters that are useful. Red Hulk, yeah. If you have extra bio gear, by all means, build extra stuff. If you have extra gear for Red Hulk, do it. I'm not saying don't, but I'm saying this. The way I planned was to kind of balance it all out, so you have an equal mix. And if you have more of Mutant and more of this, obviously adjust it on your own roster and your own plan. But that's those guys. Mutant, it's not that many. It's Apocalypse, Firestar, Hardlight, Omega Red. Firestar meta. Hey, the new Warriors team is still crushing it in Crucible. They're okay in War, and she's super cheap. It's only 2 pieces, and it wasn't really a whole lot of other mutants I really wanted to build. I built Nemesis for myself. I ended up building Magneto later on for Crucible, and I did Phoenix, which you'll see later. I feel was a mistake on my part. If I had saved enough skill gear, I wouldn't have had to build Phoenix. It just worked out that I was in a rush. I was in a race. You don't have to race. I was number 141 to get mine done. I was trying to get my stuff done in the top 200, and I did. I beat my own expectations. But I have my own personal race. I'm also trying to make content. But you guys should not be in too much of a race. Be patient. See, look at skill real quick. It's just Black Cat and Fury. It's also Kestrel, because Kestrel is skill / tech, right? So, yeah, they're here too. Kestrel is 2 skill, 1 tech. So it's cheaper than you think. It's 3 total, but it's not all skill. It works out that's only 10 skill pieces total for the entire thing. I like Black Widow. I had a good time with Black Widow, and Black Widow's fine. But that if you have extra skill gear, bring Black Widow to Global. We'll talk about it. It's up to you. And which leaves us really just tech at that point. Tech, I got Kang the Conqueror, Spider-Man Big Time, Rescue, I know, and Shuri. Because Shuri is really good in the non-horseman legendary section, and really just all the section. I mean, this is a ability energy, defense up. It's a sustain. DD6 is about sustain. It's not all glass cannon, just all damage and just hope kill them before they kill you. It's a lot. It's sustain and control. This is a sustain and control experiment. So you got to get through it. Do it that way. See, attack. That's all about that. So yeah, and also again, you can sort these by trait. So I went for let's see, global. Just show you global. I know. This goes first. Apocalypse, Quicksilver, Captain America, Captain Carter, and Rescue. Rescue. I know. The Pegasus team is a big deal now. It's gonna be a big deal, especially once we get Ironheart Mark II Friday for sale, and then next week an event. I guess next week probably to do the release thing. I don't know the details yet. There's a blog Friday. We'll get more. We have Rescue, but we need Ironheart Mark II makes that team really great, from what I can tell, play testing and stuff like that. But we'll see how it works in the real game. Subject to change. But global, I like Rescue's a big deal. You could go for Nemesis if you use more Mutant, but then that you gotta make some trades, right? Not mad about Black Widow. Skill gear, you may have plenty of it, then do it. Maybe you like Black Widow more in Rescue, but I think you're gonna find yourself with a Gear 18 Rescue in a few months anyway, so you may as well start now. Whereas Black Widow's team it's infestation and war, but Gear 18 doesn't make a big difference between 17 and 18. That team is all based on how well Spider-Man Big Time does. So is Black Widow super helpful everywhere else in the game? Here and there. Got some Crucible plug and play action, but Whereas Rescue as a raid character you use every single day, I had to give her a little extra points for that. So that's what I did. But play choices. Spider Weaver? Yeah, you want a big Spider for other things, I get it. But just know Spider is not that great in Dark Dimension 6. It's great for 2 critical little spots with another Weaver. Otherwise, it's just not that big of a deal. The Mystic pieces, Quicksilver is way better performing in the game mode, and a bit bigger of a game breaker in other game modes, being he scales. 17 is better than 16, 18 is better than 17. Every level, 95 versus 90, 7 red stars versus 6 red stars. You feel it, you notice it. He's a damage guy, and it helps him really crack. He cracks skulls. It makes a difference. So I highly recommend doing that. Global wise, then we went to Cosmic. That's next on the dial. Vol, Photon, Kang, Sylvie, Kestrel. I don't think only one here I think anyone would argue about is Sylvie. And like I said earlier, Sylvie, great right now. If the rules in Crucible change and if the raids remain easy enough to do there, you don't really have to have a big Sylvie, but I don't think it would hurt. Other characters that were in consideration for Cosmic, I built Star-Lord Annihilation, but I should have said that skill gear for Black Cat and Fury would have been a better use of my skill gear. It's not terrible, just it's the nowhere team. They're good at war, and it's not him, it's the rest of the team. Ravager Stitcher, again, very niche, but it worked out well for me. Super Skrull, we're trying to get Super Skrull, so I know. Icarus and Cersei, very popular choice. You kind of want to bring both. If you bring one, bring Cersei. Icarus by himself is crap. Together they're good, but it's a lot of Mystic gear that we want to use on other stuff. We want to use it on Ghost Rider Robbie. We want to use it on Vol. We got, Sylvie. Sylvie is right now a more useful character because Eternals are fine. At Gear Tier 16, 17, they crush all the parts you need to crush in the game. They don't need to be 18 to be super great. Sylvie at 18, you notice it for most of your Crucible, and we'll see if it changes. But you can make your own differences. But again, it worked out very well to balance out the sections. Cosmic, there's City. This, I think, is the best City team in the game right now. For DD6 is you bring Ghost Rider Robbie and Hardlight because Secret Defenders Arena and Crucible, they kick ass in both parts. And War, Secret Defenders are currently the top team in the game, right? I mean, they're more important than Horsemen. They wreck this game right now. It's crazy. But behind them, and in Crucible, we want Firestar for the the super new Warriors are great. Spider-Man 29 goes with Tangled, works very well here. And Spider-Man Big Time is really useful, especially for War. People use them in Arena. If you don't have Super Scroll yet, you know you're using them in Arena. I know you're using them. But put a Disrupt on Miss Marvel Hardlight and go. It's pretty great. And it's super cheap. And his stats are, for being like 4 stars, 5 stars now, super cheap. It's ridiculous. So, and all it really does is you want to feed Ghost Rider Robbie. Feed all the bleeds. He speeds up. He does more. He speeds up. He bleeds more. He crushes the city nodes. You've got to... This is what you're going to build. I can see some arguments. I built Cloak and Dagger before Secret Defenders were in the game. They had just gotten released. I didn't have enough invested. Cloak and Dagger were already level 90, gear 17 for me, so that was easy for me. Other choices include Mr. Negative, not bad. Misty Knight, sneaky kind of play, but Heroes for Hire, come on. At some point they're going to die off, right? If you can afford to bring Cloak and Dagger and Gwenpool and Firestar like Beta Ray Build did back on June 27th when this thing started, go for it. But it's a lot of Mystic gear. There are other good choices here. If you already have them built up and they're close, kick them in. People like Negative and Kingpin together. I get it. But it didn't work out as far as the skill gear and the Mystic gear. The balance works out better here. And these, are way more meta characters. It's top meta, solid top meta. Things are using, when this is over, will you still use them every single day? That was my overarching concern there. So that's good. And then City. From there, we go to Legendary. I don't do Horsemen. I give all the Horsemen a -1 point because there's only going to be 2 nodes instead of 4 nodes. And Horsemen will eventually get power crept and kind of pushed aside. They're not as meta as they used to be, except for like Red Hulk. Red Hulk is totally the top meta. So he's my fringe choice. But look, Black Cat and Fury and Shuri, Omega Red and Nova. This is a fairly, this works. I didn't use Fury. I'm going to, but Black Cat, Nova, and Omega Red kick total butt. Shuri does great to provide defense up and ability energy and sustains it all. And then I had Phoenix. She was okay, but it's kind of a waste of gear and waste of gold. Looking back, I would much rather have built Fury, or even and then eventually Red Hulk. But Fury as a non-Horseman legendary, and we may get a new one in a month or two, and maybe even better. But for now, that works out. By doing that again, I balance out the Mystic, Bio, Mutant, Skill, and Tech, so that the Skill is 10. Tech is 12, and 13 sets each for Mystic, Bio, and Mutant. It all works out, and you end up with good characters at the end. Another thing to look out for real quick, I'll show you as well, is that I will say that I had to do this real quick. Let's see, A to Z here. Let's sort color real fast. Yeah. The only kind of problem with my plan, I think, is I've got 4 characters that all need molecular cloth. So if you have a shortage of molecular cloth, adapt accordingly. I had plenty. We went to the last milestones and events last month or two. Like when Photon came out, they gave us more. When Sylvia, they gave us more. They gave us more of these. So if you were participating in the milestones and leaderboard events and stuff, trying to chase end of Whalestones, Kraken Stones, but at least kind of close to the end of those events, all the free-to-play stuff, maybe a little further here and there, you probably got enough molecular cloth to make it all happen. But if not, you may have to adjust the plan accordingly. So this is my plan. This is the top 20 for now. I think they're great. I think it's wonderful. But make sure that you like and subscribe and comment down below how I got it wrong. Also, again, grab this Google Sheet. If you have Sheets on your phone or Google Docs on your PC, whatever device you're using to watch this on, grab it, make a copy, put your own name on it, whatever. Play around with it. Play around with the ratings. Play around with the system. Check. Maybe add characters I haven't added yet. You can add new characters to it. Or like, what about, I want to bring, Merc Riot Guard. Okay, you can. Put in the list. Make your own ratings. You can have fun with it. Play with it. But it's be fun. So until then, again, I hope it helps. This is not about me bragging. I want to help you guys build the perfect teams. I want to get there more efficiently, more effectively, and when it's all done, be more prepared for the next thing. You've already got characters for the next DD7 or the next chase for the big bad, whatever it is. You've got teams built for the next thing, and you haven't hurt your roster. You've helped your roster to really help your roster. Okay, enough talking. Great. Until next time, like and subscribe. Ambassador Al, the envoy of winning, remind you that winning beats losing. Losing beats not getting to play. As long as you're in the game, you're in the fight, you can win another night. We'll see you guys next time here in the embassy. And I remind you again, as long as you're playing, you can always stay winning. Love you guys. Bye.